Hey everyone, in our last video, we covered some exciting updates introduced in DaVinci Resolve version 19.1 and highlighted how awesome they were. However, depending on your editing style, you might encounter some challenges that requires adjustment to work around. In today's video, we are going to be diving into some of those adjustments to help make your video editing process smoother. Okay, so let's head to the computer. Before we begin with these adjustments, let me just let you guys know that these adjustments could be applied in other scenarios as well. For example, these adjustments can be done in the adjustment clip, which we are going to be going into later on, okay? But in this video, we are going to be talking about how to adjust some of those updates that we got from DaVinci Resolve 19.1. Especially those updates that I talked about in my previous video, okay? So one of the big ones was reference composition. I've used it quite a bit and I've encountered some, I wouldn't call them issues, but like I called them before, just some challenges, okay? You just have to know when to use them to be a lot beneficial. All right, so let's head into the computer right now. As you can see, I have some clips here. All right, so let's get into the first one. As you can see, the first one is my intro from the last video. All right, so let's make it shorter because let's make this one also shorter. So let's say these two clips and we are going to be using reference here, and I have pictures piled up here as well. Eventually I'm going to give you some example that we could use with reference composition. All right, so let's start here. I'm going to first create reference composition. So let me go to the media pool and I'm going to go to the reference composition folder. Like I said before, you always want to create a reference composition folder. Okay, so I'm going to right click on this clip. Okay, I've changed the colors so that you could differentiate between the two clips. I'm going to create reference composition. I'm just going to call this brand new. Let's go with that. Okay, you could right click here and head to Fusion, or you could just click Fusion from here, or you could also go to the bin and click on that reference composition and it's going to go straight to the Fusion page. All right, so now we are on the Fusion page and we're just going to make a basic animation here just to demonstrate some of those challenges that I talked about. We are going to just create a basic test animation here. So let's put reference comp. All right, short form for composition. All right, so we could go to the text and we could change this. So let's make it this big. So let me show you one of those challenges. Let's head to the layout. Let's take out the media out here. Okay, so let's head to frame 10. That's always the magic number for me for some reason. All right, so I'm going to head to the center animation. Okay, so that's where it's going to end. So let's go to the frame 0 and we're going to take this out from here. Let's take it all the way out. So this is simple animation, could be an introduction. Okay, and we go to the end as well. So it's 83. Let's go 73 and we do another keyframe and we go to the end of the animation, take it down, take something different. So at the end of the clip, the animation goes down. Boom. Okay, so that's just the animation here. All right, you could, I don't know, color grade or change something or make it darker. You know what, let's just do some of that. You know what I'm about to do here. I did it the last time as well. Okay, so look, invert this, make it all the way soft, reduce this. All right, okay, so let's just say that's what we're trying to do here. Let's head back to the edit page. So you see the reference clip here and this is the next clip. Okay, now we want to link this clip to the reference clip. So first you have to go to the folder and select that reference clip. And now you could go to this clip and right click and select link to reference composition. Boom. This clip adapts to other features that the referenced clip had. Okay then. However, it has copied everything exactly the same. Okay, so that's including the keyframes. So now let's head to the Fusion from this clip. So we are going to head to the text. Remember, we made some keyframes on the text node. So we're gonna go to the text, and if you look down here, you could see that the ending animation ended here, which is fine if you want it to end there. What if you wanted it to end at the end of the clip, just like you did with the first clip? So the beginning is good because again, it's the first 10 frames, but the two clips don't have the same length. So now this ended prematurely. So usually you could go to the keyframe and adjust it. However, in reference composition, when you adjust one clip that was linked, all the clips linked together is also adjusted. Okay, so let's head to the first one and let's go to the text. Okay, and let's head to keyframe. So again, as you can see, it looks like they're all linked. So if I change this right now, this is frame 360. So let's head back. If I go to this clip right now and head to the reference clip, select text and go to the keyframe. Again, we've done the same thing here. It's either you find the same length of clip if you want to do that kind of animation, or you could use expressions to adjust these scenario here. Okay, so let's try it. We could use expressions to let the composition know that you want these animations to happen within the first 10 frames and also the last 10 frames. So that's what we're going to do now. Let's head back to the reference clip and let's head to the Fusion to make those adjustments. All right. Okay, now, so if you like, you could take out the keyframes here. Okay, so I'm going to set this up. Let me put this back at 0.5. Okay. All right. So this is where we're going to use expressions. So we're going to right click here and click on expression. We are going to delete this. We are going to use the if function here. Okay. So the if function is a very powerful function. And by the way, I've made a couple of videos about expressions, not even couple, like probably 4 or 5 videos on expressions. Okay. So you could go check them out and you could learn the basic of expressions if you wish to. Okay, or at least know what they're all about. Okay, so I'm going to write an expression here, and you could copy my expression. If you have the same type of animation that I'm doing here, then you could copy my animation and maybe just switch the number. For example, I'm going to put if time is less than 10, you could make it 20, 15, whatever time frame that you choose to. Okay, so the time usually represent the frame. Okay, so let's just start writing. Okay, so if with double I. Okay, I'm going to give space, and I'm also going to put on the screen so that way you could copy it if you need to. So if time is less than 10, the condition is if time is less than 10. All right, so now you write the true value when time is less than 10. Then you put the point and you're going to put what you want to happen. Okay, the X is still 0.5. Now Y is where the math come in. So 0.3 is just the offset. Okay, it's where you want it to start from. All right, so 0.3 plus time multiplied by 0.05. Okay, so that represent like how quickly you want it to go from there to the center. Okay, so that's what that represents. So whenever you open a bracket, you need to close them. That's the true value. Okay, so now let's write the false value. The false value, you could also put another condition. All right, so that's what we're going to do here. So if time is more than, we want the last 10 frames. So how are we going to achieve that? We're going to use a function called comp.renderEnd, which is suggesting the last frame. So the last frame minus 10, that's how we get the last 10 frames, right? Which kind of makes sense anyway, if you think about it. So and with these, you have to spell them exactly how they are. Otherwise, any wrong spelling and they won't work. Okay, 0.5 plus bracket time minus another parenthesis comp.render and minus 10. Ooh, that's the last parenthesis. Multiply by 0.1. That's usually how fast you want animation to go when you multiply. Either way, I suggest you go watch those other videos. That will help a lot. 0.1, close the parentheses. Okay, so whenever you have an if function, you're just going to give the true value. Now you want to give the false value if they don't meet your condition. Okay, so when they don't meet those conditions, you just write the false value, which is going to be the text being in the middle, which is 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. That's the middle. So 0.5. 0.5, 0.5, and all those parentheses opened, you have to gonna close them. So 1, 2, 3, and hit enter. Now let's try now. So now the first 10 frames. Okay, guys. Yeah, you need to put minus here. So you want it to start at minus. That's why it's doing that, because it started at 0.3 instead of starting at minus 0.3. Okay. All right. So let's just use plus here. All right. So there you go. Boom. That works. Boom. Okay. All right. So let's head to the ending and see if the ending works. Boom. All right. So let's head to the next clip. Select this next clip and let's head to Fusion. So let's check it here again. So of course the first 10 frame is going to work. Okay. And it's going to wait till it hits the last 10 frames. Boom. Okay. So now anything that you have linked to that reference composition, the animation is always going to happen at the first 10 frame and the last 10 frame. Okay. So that's how you solve that problem. All right. Let's head to the edit page. We're going to do the same with adjustment clip. So let's get to effects. Let's bring down adjustment clip. Oh, okay. So let's make it bigger. Since the adjustment clip is, let's make it bigger here. Okay, so now we're using adjustment clip here. We're going to make a simple animation. Sometimes that's what we need, simple animation. Sometimes we have to zoom into a particular area. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to frame 10. That's a magic number for me. So let's use frame 10. Okay, let's say I want to zoom into like around 1.5. Okay, 1.5. So I'm going to zoom in, going to hit the keyframe, and I'm going to go to 0 frame. And I'm going to hit 0. Okay. Boom. Oh, not 0. Sorry. 1. That's where it starts. Okay. Boom. So I hit from 1. Boom. Okay. Let's go to last 10 frame, which is ended in 19. So let's go to 9. Boom. Hit another keyframe. Then head back to 1. Okay. So of course, if you like, you could go to spline and make it smoother. So let's just play this. Blah, blah, blah. Claims I should make it even shorter. So it's going to be kind of the same thing, but in a different scenario. All right. So this is with adjustment clip. So this is exactly what happened here. And boom, boom. All right. So let's say we don't want to redo that whole thing. We're just going to copy this adjustment clip, duplicate it, and move to another place. Okay. So Alt drag and you move to another spot. But the second one was a bit longer. So it has to be longer. All right. So with this one, you could easily go here and head to keyframes, okay, and just move it. By the way, I've also made videos on how to adjust keyframes. So you could easily select the last keyframes and switch it, you know, which is fine. What if you have a lot of those and they all have different sizes? Okay, you could do this too, right? This doesn't take that much time anyway. This is an option for you if you don't want to deal with expressions. So you could simply do this, all right? And if you want more of this, like I said, you could go check out my video that I've done on this keyframes. All right, so that's one solution, but there's always better solutions. Okay, so let's head back to edit page and let's delete this one right here. So let's head back to the original adjustment clip. Now let's head to Fusion. Okay, let's take out the keyframe. So let's just remove this, head to the next one. We're gonna remove this, head to the next one. Remove, head to the first one. Now I'm going to remove, or we just click it here. All right. So what we're going to do now is we are going to use expressions to do the same animations. All right. Again, just like the first example, we are going to use the first 10 keyframes and the last 10 keyframes. So that way, no matter what size it is, it's going to always affect the first 10 frames and the last 10 frames. All right. Condition here, then enter, boom. All right, so let's see what happens here. Boom, it zoomed in to 1.5. Okay, so after 10 is going to be at 1.5 till it hits the last 10 frames, which is now it start going back 2, 1. All right. So now if I go to the edit page and I do the same thing, Alt, move. Okay. So let's say I needed to make it a bit longer. I could simply drag this. Okay. So no matter how you drag it, it's always going to be first 10 frames and last 10 frames. Okay. You could make it smaller, but if you make it smaller, then you have to make sure that it's at least 10 frames or longer. Okay. All right. Boom. No matter how long you want it. Now you don't always have to go to keyframe to make those adjustments. You could just do them right here at the edit page. And this is going to make your workflow extremely faster. All right. Again, I always find ways to make workflows faster. So yeah, those are the few adjustments that you could make to help edit your videos faster. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this video. If you like what you see, don't forget to give it a like. And if you learned something, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and we will catch you on the next video. Peace.